Hello, guys, and welcome back to another live. So it is a gorgeous Friday, and we are coming to you, as always, number one place for you guys to get all of the news, what's going on in the overall markets, and what we think about where Bitcoin will go. AJ, how are you today?
Well, I'm doing as well as I can in this current situation.
Yeah,
I have just put my application through for McDonald's, so you might see me working
yeah.
there
Yeah,
in a few weeks.
send me one of those.
Yeah, but
I'm
yeah,
getting margin called.
yeah, I'm doing all right. But the aim of the game is to make money whether the market is going down or whether the market is going up. So I'm going to be showing you what I am doing as of right now. To ensure that I'm still making money within this bearish market right now. So we'll be getting on to the technical side of stuff in a moment.
Good. So there's a couple of things that I want to show you guys just to put everything into like a small bit of perspective. So firstly, this is just the general markets. So we're looking at, the stock markets basically. So the S&P is not up very much. The most poignant thing that I think we can look at now is the NASDAQ up by 2.68%, which is quite significant. Tesla up by over 7%. Nvidia 5%, AMD or 6.5%. So this is the reason why I'm kind of getting into this and showing you is that there is more of a move away from that kind of safety. So this should begin to see a little bit of money moving away from dollar cash into risky assets, which obviously the NASDAQ is considered a risky asset. Now, I'm not going to get into exactly why, this as growth is kind of as good as value nowadays, but I'm just going to let you know that this is what we're seeing the general market do, and it's going into some of those more risky assets, which is very good for us in Bitcoin. But we've said this before. Whatever happens in the NASDAQ will happen with Bitcoin. Whatever happens in Bitcoin will happen in altcoins. But there is definitely a lag period, and we're in that lag period right now. So we're going to have to wait at least for a couple of days, maybe weeks, in order to see any upside from here trickle into here. But overall, guys, just quickly dropping this in. So you see Bitcoin currently just under 29,000, which is not very good. We have broken down past a bit of support, and AJ is going to bring you through that. But I just want to show you everything else is kind of dropping a little bit more than we see Bitcoin. So a lot of these coins, such as the like Ethereum, the DeFi, these are all down quite heavily. But again, we're focusing primarily here on Bitcoin itself. Now, on that, 2 bits of news, one for Bitcoin, one for Ethereum. Also, guys, make sure that you stick around until the end of the stream. We'll be doing our final $50 giveaway to one person who asks us a question and also drops their BUSD wallet address in the comments. So we've done 4 of those so far, $250 already given away. $200 given away. And we're going to have another person today. So someone's going to win. Make sure you stick around and make it yourself. So little bit of news here. Small Bitcoin whales may be keeping Bitcoin price from capitulation. A couple of days ago, I mentioned what capitulation is. It's basically just people selling even if they're in a loss. So, if I'm in profit, I sell. If someone's break even, they sell, that's fine. But if someone's in a loss and they think, well, I don't know how far down it's going to go, that is what capitulation is, just where the whole market panics. Now, amid widespread consensus that Bitcoin should put in a lower low than its May 12th pivot price of 23,800, some of Bitcoin's largest holders are showing signs of impatience. Now, this is where the capitulation comes in. Now, CryptoQuant contributor Ding Band flagged selling from the top cohort increasing since April 1st. Now, what does that mean? So it means the entities with $1 million or more, known as giant whales, have upped their distribution of coins. Then that's essentially, if they had loads of Bitcoin, they're then distributing that money into other coins. So they're getting out of Bitcoin. And this is what we call a bit of capitulation. Now, what he's noticed is that the smaller whales, those under $1 million, have been much slower to shift their position. So they're more diamond hands than the bigger whales themselves. Now, with 100,000 to 1 million whales, 100,000 to $1 million whales only now beginning to actually sell. So it was the $1 million guys at first. Now it's the 100,000 to 1 million. But now we're seeing still the 10,000 to 100,000 and the 1,000 to 10,000 bands have showed no signs of capitulation. So the guys with the smaller wallets are much more diamond hand than the guys with the absolute bigger wallets sitting at over $1 million in Bitcoin. Now, I did want to also just show you this. It's, you know, the number of entities with a balance of over 1,000 Bitcoin has dropped significantly. Now, this is not great. It's not great, I will say. You know, it shows these larger whales kind of selling off, and this could lead to a bit of a snowball effect where, you know, we saw here people with over 1 million, they're selling. People with 100,000 to 1 million, they're now selling. Now, those with 10,000 to 100,000, they might begin to sell. And then we have capitulation. And then we see this graph drop down even further. That spreads widespread panic in the crypto market. And that could be a catalyst that keeps pushing the price of Bitcoin to the downside. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. AJ, I know that you've got some fantastic analysis coming up soon with regards to, you know, what the potential price targets might be for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, right?
Yeah, we'll be looking into them. So we have, you know, broken down out of that major support level that we were talking about in yesterday's video. So yeah, we'll get onto that and the confirmation is there as well. So we'll get onto that in a moment.
Exactly. Now, I will just before we get into that, just want to mention about Ethereum, because we're going to be covering both of those. So Ethereum price dips below the 1.8K support as bears prepare for Friday's $1 billion options expiry. Now, I know we see headlines like this, but as a retail trader, we might just be buying and holding Bitcoin. We might just be, you know, pressing the buy button and then pressing the sell button when, you know, we're in a better profit, or we might have a stop loss. You know, so these options, they're very much, if you're in the European market, they don't get used as much as in the US market. Now, let me tell you what this means. So overall, this is just a bit of background. Due to the volatility in stocks, investors had seeking shelter in the US dollar, which is why the DXY, something that AJ has outlined amazingly over the past few streams, but the DXY has hit its highest level in 20 years. Now, moreover, the 5-year US Treasury yield reached its highest level since August 2018, trading at 3.1% on May the 9th. Now, that signaled that investors demand larger returns to compensate for crazy high inflation. Now, in a nutshell, macroeconomic data reflects risk-averse sentiment for investors, and this partially explains Ether's downturn. This is exactly what I said the other day, guys. You know, I've been saying this for a while. Everybody is very risk-averse. We didn't know what the FOMC minutes were going to say. We didn't know whether there was going to be a rate hike of, you know, 50 basis points. We didn't know if there was going to be 6. We didn't know anything. And that's why it's only really been today that we're seeing such a buy the dip mentality in these traditional markets. But like I said at the beginning, the traditional markets don't immediately reflect on the crypto markets. So what I want to say here is So traders might have been fooled by the short-lived pump to almost $3,000 on May the 4th, so earlier this month, because their bets for the May 27th options expiry extended beyond 3,000. What this means is that when Ethereum got to this price, everyone got super excited, and they thought, well, you know, I want the option to be able to buy Ethereum at 2,800, or I want to be able to have the option to buy it at $3,000 or 3,100 because I'm convinced it's going to go to 4,000. So obviously, if it's at 4,000 and you have the option to buy it at 3, you're immediately in profit, and that's why these options are extremely popular. Now, the drop below 1,800 took the bulls, i.e., the people who thought it was going to be, you know, much more expensive in the future, by surprise, because virtually none of the call option is basically call up to buy a pizza, call up, hey, can I buy this at the specific price we agreed? That's the way I always remember it. For May the 27th have been placed below that price level. So basically, no one thought, oh yeah, I want to buy it at below $1,800, as you see, or sorry, yeah, $1,800. So you see this around here. Here's the price, you know, across the bottom here. But you see most of these green, well, if it's around here, I want to be able to buy at this specific price. Even people were thinking, oh, I definitely want to buy it at 4,000. Now, people might have been hedging their bets. They might say, oh, well, I want to be able to sell it if we get to this level, which is exactly what a put option is. But I want to be able to show you this. Now, if the price of Ethereum is between 1,600 and 1,700, 0 people have said that they want to buy Ethereum at this point earlier on in the month. But this many people have said that they want to sell Ethereum. So that means that there's going to be $370 million in sell options activated at the end of this month, basically. So there's going to be $370 million of liquidity added in to the market, but on the downside. Now, if it's between 1,700 and 1,800, however, there's 50 call options, so buy options, versus 192,300 sell options. So you can see this. So then the net would be 325 million of downward selling pressure. 370 if it's between this, because everyone activates their call, there's this much negative pressure. If the price is here, there's only this many puts, so we get this much negative pressure. And then again, if we're between 1,800 and 2,000, there's then, you know, this is the buying pressure, this is the selling pressure, this is the net, this is what we end up with here. So this is where, you know, kind of wanted to just explain exactly what that means, because we see put options, we see expiry dates, but we don't quite know what they mean. So for those of you who didn't know, hope that was very helpful. And just to wrap this up, the bull's best case scenario requires a push above 1,800 to reduce the damage by 45 million. So this is that 45 million. There's 20 million here to get us up to 300, and then 25 million. So 20 plus 25 is 45 million. So what they're hoping is, instead of having this much downward pressure, maybe you can just stick slightly above 1,800. This is what the bulls want, so that there's only a limited amount of selling pressure coming into the market. So that's exactly what the put and call options mean. Like I said, they can be extremely profitable. They often are. But I wanted to, if you have any questions, obviously make sure that you kind of drop those in. But yeah, that's the overview as to what exactly the put and call options are. And it's very important that you guys know that. And then, because we do see massive volume of sale or buy pressure, and we don't know why. And so that will affect the technicals, you know, which AJ, yeah. I know you were going to be able to throw us into.
Yeah. So do we want to look at that now?
Yeah, let's jump into that now.
Yeah. So in yesterday's show, you know, we were looking at this symmetrical triangle, which can also, you know, be taken as a bearish pendant. So we have this symmetrical triangle here. For now, I am just going to, you know, be looking at the symmetrical triangle target, and then we'll get on to what the bearish pendant target could be. But, you know, as of right now, you know, we are seeing that rejection from that resistance. Like I said in yesterday's video, you know, the confirmation for me would have to be that rejection at that resistance. And we're seeing that right now. You know, we came up, we tested the resistance, and we have seen that rejection. I have actually, in fact, gone short on Bitcoin. And that short entry did start at $29,150 approximately, you know, in a slight profit as of right now. But, you know, the targets that I am looking for, the first, you know, short-term target I'm looking for is $27,700 approximately. And then, you know, for this symmetrical triangle, the target is, in fact, around $25,150. So, you know, it's not looking too good for Bitcoin at the moment. You know, we are looking incredibly bearish. You know, there is slight support coming in. Well, it's a major support level. So if we take a look at the daily here, if my chart would like to load. Here we go. So we are looking at this, you know, that I've been talking about for a while now. My chart doesn't seem to want to be loading today. There we go. So, you know, this blue support level here, you know, we've held it very, very well previously. And as of right now, you know, we are at the very bottom of this support level. You know, I would like to see a bounce off of this level, but unfortunately, definitely, what the technicals are telling me right now is that we are going to break this level. So, the thing that's stopping Bitcoin from, seeing that major move towards the downside as of right now is this support level right now. If we can break this support level, then, then I expect to see the price, getting hit quite hard and coming down probably pretty quickly, because we've been consolidating for a while. We've got squeezed so far into this triangle that, a major move is going to be coming soon, and it does look like it is going to be towards the downside. Now, to confirm this price target of 25,000, I would like to see this resistance being tested again and then breaking above it. But as of right now, we've had that confirmation that this is playing out bearishly. As of right now, we are seeing that bearish scenario play out. So yeah, my target is down at approximately that $25,000 level. Now, it's not all bad news if we do, come down and hit those targets. If I just get on the daily again, we do have slight support at that $24,000 level. We've used it as resistance before, but I don't think it's strong enough to sort of hold the price. There isn't enough support there at all. So I don't expect the price to be held at 24,000. If we do break this major support level that we're at now, this blue support level here, the possibility of it coming, the bigger possibility is that it comes down to that $22,000 level, which I've talked about, a number of times in the previous shows. We've used it as support, this 200 MA. We've used it as support every time we've had that, bearish pullback. We have found support along that level, and we have bounced. We've bounced off it. We've got those wicks below it, which could, take us to 20,000, and also maybe take us down to that bigger bearish target, which I have been talking about, which is around, that $17,000 target, because, this is actually a textbook bearish pendant. As I've told you in the previous streams, we've had that consolidation, we've had the flag, and then we've had the pendant. So the bearish target is in fact approximately $17,000, and that is, something that is very possible, because we've seen these big wicks, which was about 27%, and a 27% drop below that $22,000 level is around 18,000. So that $17,000 target, it is possible. So hopefully, we can't ignore these bearish scenarios, because in the past, bearish pendants like this, they have played out and they have, hit their target. So I don't really expect the price to come down to $17,000. I don't expect it to drop below $20,000, but we can't shove it off the table, because otherwise we're not trading right. We have to take in every consideration. We have to consider every, possible scenario. So as of right now, I am expecting that price to come down to around that $25,000 level. And then we'll most likely, see it come down to that $22,000 level, hopefully holding that 200 MA. That would be great. Looking at the dominance, we are seeing a nice rise in the dominance, and this is what I said in yesterday's stream. I'm staying away from those altcoins and just focusing on Bitcoin as of right now, because you can see, over here on the crypto bubbles, you can see how much more the altcoins, if you ignore this 61% increase in price, but if you look at the the price of these altcoins, they're getting hit a lot more than Bitcoin is. Over the past week, Bitcoin's only dropped 0.6%, but compared to all of these other altcoins, they've been hit a lot hard. So as of right now, I'm staying away from altcoins. Later on, when Bitcoin finds that bottom, then I'll start talking about we'll start talking about the altcoins that we're going to be getting into. But as of right now, I'm expecting the dominance to come up around that 48% level. Hopefully, when we come up to that level, hopefully we will find a bottom in Bitcoin. So then we can get that rejection here, like we have seen in the past, and then we can start looking at getting into. Yeah, then we can get into the altcoins, exactly, and that's where we make all the money in the altcoins.
Well, yeah, it is, because they jump a lot less stable. Which at the moment, now that I'm holding some, is bad, but
yeah. So but you can see Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're just dropping at this level here. When we did break this trend line, I did actually, shift a lot of my Bitcoin into Ethereum, and it played out. We hit my TP1. I took some chips off the table there, hit my TP2. I turned some of my Ethereum back into Bitcoin. But when we broke this level here, I've pretty much put my whole portfolio back into Bitcoin, because we have seen that break to the downside here. We saw the retest and we got the rejection. So, about 70, 80% of my portfolio right now is in Bitcoin. I'm just staying away from those altcoins until we find that bottom. Looking at the price of Ethereum as well, we're at the very bottom of that support level right now. And, the likelihood of it is if Bitcoin continues to fall in price, then Ethereum's going to come back to this support level here around $1,400. Hopefully, it can hold that, but depends how far Bitcoin goes down. If it comes down to that $22,000 level, then there's a bigger chance that Ethereum, can be hit a lot harder. But the target I'm looking for now for Ethereum is that $1,400 level. If we do break this second key support level, which if Bitcoin continues to fall in price, the likelihood of that happening is very likely.
Do you have an idea in terms of like timeline of like, are you expecting? Oh, I mean, I don't know if you've thought about this. It's probably going to depend on like a big catalytic move. But have you thought about a particular amount of time it might take for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything to kind of hit towards that bottom, or is it just we're waiting on one big event?
Personally, it could be all the way at the end of this year. It could, this bear market could, go throughout the whole of this year. So it's sort of hard to give a sort of time, a time when I think it's going to hit that bottom. But yeah, I think, by the end of this year, most definitely we will have found that bottom, but I think, it could take 3 or 4 months before we, find that bottom. So it's just something we have to wait for. But then, when we do hit that bottom, there will be, lots and lots of confirmations that we have hit that bottom. As of right now, there's some confirmations that we're at a bottom, but it's not enough for me. It looks like we could come down further. The RSI, if we take a quick look at the RSI,
we're still in a massive downward trend, aren't we? Like, we can't say that we hit the bottom when we're still currently falling. And,
exactly.
it's not too long away from a 9th weekly close. In the red.
Exactly. Yeah. And as you say, we are in that we are in that downtrend. We are seeing and this is on the weekly as well. So this is, pretty bearish news, but bullish news in the future once we can break this trend. But, as of right now, we are creating those lower highs, we're getting those lower lows. So clearly, we are in a very, very big downtrend. Once, we break that, downwards trend, that's when I'm going to flip bullish on Bitcoin. We find that bottom and then we break this trend. That's when I will be flipping bullish on Bitcoin. Hopefully, we get that second lower high, so that then there's another level for me to flip bullish if we surpass that level. Because as of right now, for me to flip bullish, we have to surpass that $47,000 level, because that would break the bearish trend. So hopefully we can make another lower high, maybe come down a little bit more, hit those targets that we've been talking about, and then break that lower high, which could be sat around between that $30,000 to $35,000 level, and then that's when I would flip bullish. But I'm not going to flip bullish on Bitcoin until we break this bearish trend.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a very, very good thing to do. I'm going to open this up to everyone in terms of, if you have any questions, feel more, you're more than welcome to kind of ask any questions, even if it's just about what we're doing in terms of, potentially coins that we like. I know for myself, and I've kind of said this before, like, I think, actually, this could be the first question that I ask you guys. So just drop us a comment in, down below. I think that we're going to have a bullish kind of end of Q3, beginning of Q4, because I think that's when we're going to have a lot of the Fed rate announcements. So we pretty much know, and the market has already priced in, that the Fed is going to rate basis. Let me start over. The Fed is going to raise the interest rates by 50 basis points twice. during June and July. So we pretty much know that that's going to happen. That's already priced in. The Fed have said they don't want to do anything that the market is not expecting. So we're pretty sure that's going to happen. Now, beyond that, people are not really sure. If that begins to, show that inflation is manageable and that it's actually beginning to come down, that's going to allow the Fed to be a little bit more dovish during Q3 and then into Q4. But I think during Q3, that will kind of be where we find that bottom in, I'm going to argue, maybe a lot of the different markets. So I'm going to say, within maybe 2 months, and then once we see that bottom and, for a lot of the different markets, I think then Bitcoin will follow suit, relatively soon. And I think we are going to end the year pretty bullish. I know some people have said, well, the crypto winter is going to last for, it could be years. It could, because last time it was what, like a year and a half, I think, where we were just pretty much stagnant, didn't really do much. But I'm thinking that, yes, we're in a bit of a bear market, but I don't expect us to kind of be there for too much longer, just because, at the moment there is a lot of people worried, and at the end of the day, people want to invest somewhere. So that's kind of my take on it. I'll go through a couple of these questions, AJ.
Just to B2B South Africa, he said, "What's my?" He's asking what the bottom price is.
Yes.
I have been saying this in previous videos. My bottom for a candle close is around $22,000. Yes, I think we could wick below it, 20,000, maybe even 17,000. We do have that price target of 17,000. But for my weekly candle close, 22,000 is going to be the bottom for me. That can change a little bit as well because it is a moving average, so it may vary a little bit. But as of right now, it's sat at approximately 22,000. So for me, that's going to be my bottom. Yes, we can wick below it, and I'll continue to DCA below that level, but 22,000 is what I'm looking at for the bottom.
Nice, very nice. Llewellyn, we have a question from you. What is your take on buying grayscale cryptos with this ranging market? I mean, as far as I know, they have a couple different funds. As far as I'm aware, one of the main ones is more of a multi-asset. And to be honest, the grayscale fund, I'm not personally invested in it. I'm more of an individual buyer of certain cryptos. And that's just because there are some that I haven't done my own research. I don't like investing into things that I haven't done my research on. Grayscale, I think, is great, as a general fund. You put your money in, you DCA every single month. You don't have to think about it. So it's good in that respect. But at the moment, we are in a falling market. And especially if you're investing into a diversified ETF, basically, of different cryptos, you have to, like me and AJ said earlier, you have to take into account that the altcoins are falling much faster than Bitcoin. So you might be exposed to an asset that is continually falling right now. I'm not saying that it's not a good idea to begin getting yourself in. And, when we hit that bottom, it's great because you will have been in it at quite a low price. And obviously when we, the jump up, and altcoins will jump higher than Bitcoin, not in terms of market cap, but just in terms of percentage, in my opinion. And, you will capture a lot of that gain. So, I'm not going to say you should or shouldn't do anything. But personally, those are the things that I would be aware of. But I don't invest in a crypto ETF myself. I just invest into individual ones, and I make up my own portfolio because I like to do my own research.
Justin Tom has put, what's your thoughts on Matic right now? If I could just share my screen, I can show a bit of TA on that.
Go ahead.
I haven't looked at this chart in a while, but yeah. So as I said earlier on, I'm sort of staying away from those altcoins as of right now. I'm just focusing on Bitcoin, waiting for Bitcoin to find that bottom. But the TA on Matic right now, we are holding this support level as of right now. We've seen previous resistance, previous support. We are holding that support as of right now. But if Bitcoin continues to fall in price, I do see Matic coming all the way down to that 0.3 cents level.
Oof, that's a bit dangerous. That is.
Yeah. So, I used to be an investor in Matic, but as of right now, I have put most of my altcoins into Bitcoin because we are going to see a lot less downside in Bitcoin than we are going to see in the altcoins.
Yeah, yeah. No, you are absolutely correct. Can you do me a favor here, AJ? Just take even where we currently are, and you know the
Yeah,
ruler on the left hand side where you judge the percentage as to how much you've gone up. If you do that, it's
yes,
on the left hand side of your
yeah.
screen.
From the from the top.
All time high down to where we are.
Okay, so we are. It's not going to look good. Oh, 80%.
80% down, you see. So I mean, even Bitcoin,
Yeah,
it was 69 and now we're at 30. So that's what it's like, maybe a
yeah,
60%, it's just a little bit over 50. So 50
yeah,
to 60% drop. And this is what we mean, guys, in terms of the altcoins, they have fallen much harder, but it's arguable that they have much more potential, because even if they just simply reach their all-time high, that's going to be like, I mean, I don't know what type of gain that is. What we're at 0.5 up to 3. That is what is that? Is that like, I want to say 600%? Can you do it the other way, AJ?
yeah, yeah.
So going from the bottom to the top.
From where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's a 420% move.
420%. See, exactly. The amount of percent is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
In terms of what the return is. It's so that's why investing in the altcoins is fantastic. And this kind of ties in slightly with regards to this. What about the Grayscale fund? You will see great returns when the altcoins start going, but we're not in altcoin season yet, and that's something that has to be very much respected.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as I've been saying, we find that bottom, then we'll start showing all these altcoins that we're getting into on this channel. Once we find that bottom for Bitcoin first, because me and Ben, we're just staying away from those altcoins as of right now.
Yeah, we're catching a falling knife, and there might be one or two that are going up, but
it's really hard to judge those though.
Exactly, and you have to follow every project and like every single person, because it could just be that like one person left the team, and then that means that the investors crash or the developer pool dries up, and that could crash a project. But you have to keep such a high level of detail with so many different cryptos. It really is very, very difficult. To kind of do that, especially when you're thinking about what's the Fed saying, what's technical analysis like, what's happening with Russia. Is there going to be a food shortage? Is China easing up its zero COVID policy? All these different things are weighing on different markets. So there's a lot to keep in mind, and that's why it's just easier to focus on what's going to happen first, and that's Bitcoin. So hence why we do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to seem like a Bitcoin maxi, but as of right now, I've got to consider myself one, because I don't want to lose too much money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm okay losing a bit. I've got my long-term portfolio, but there comes a time. One thing I will say to everybody is that we appreciate your comments, but nobody has yet put their wallet address inside. Now, I will say, guys, just put in your wallet address. We'll say first person to do it will gain yourself $50. What do you reckon about AJ? What do you reckon about Llewellyn? Well, I think it has to be a new winner each day. I'm sorry, Llewellyn.
I think we'll do that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make it a new winner each day.
Yeah, it could only makes it fair.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just secretly like one of my family members constantly like, oh yeah, you're doing the thing now, are you? Yeah. But yeah, so somebody, whoever's asked a question. Oh, here we go. We have legend. If there is no takers, like that. Okay, we'll have to give that to Justin Tom. Or Justin, is yours a Bitcoin wallet? We unfortunately, so it has to be a BUSD wallet address. And you also have to have asked a question before. Okay, maybe it might be. Do you want to help me out on this one? So, Legend USPL. Unfortunately, you didn't ask a question. And that was the one requirement, the one entry requirement was question and wallet address. Justin, pretty sure that's a Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem
unfortunately,
like
we can't.
smart chain.
Keith, is that a? I did ask the question. Yes, you did, Justin. That's your Bitcoin wallet, isn't it? AJ, what are you saying?
I'm just trying to see if that other guy asked a question. No. Right. Justin, Tom, if you can put your Binance Smart Chain one in. There we go.
All right.
Is that right?
Bomb.
We have a winner.
Bomb. Guys, very much appreciate, because you have to be asking the question and put the wallet address in order to be eligible. Yeah. So we have our winner, Justin Tom. Thank you very much, sir. You have won yourself $50 US worth of crypto. Very good time to be stacking up your Satoshis there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Very good time. But yes, guys, thank you all for joining. It's fantastic to have you guys here. Make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. We will be doing more giveaways like this in the future. So hit that bell notification so you know when we're live in order to get involved. And also follow us on Twitter. AJ is probably most prominent on Twitter. Obviously, we can't be on all of the time.
Posting my charts over on there on Twitter. Yesterday I was posting when we broke out of that symmetrical triangle. So make sure you click the link below, go follow our Twitter account, turn that bell notification on, because I will be updating you when we get those breakouts on the TA charts.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you. Good. Thank you very much for watching.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day, and we will see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Take care.